Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our CSTP call today. I'm very excited to welcome back both Alex and Francesca from APHSA to talk to us again about their Thrive LMS. And we've been promoting it throughout our calls and our newsletter, but I know everybody kind of needs a refresher, and so I'm hoping that we can kind of have some updates, and I'm excited to hear from you both. I'm going to pop in the chat some of our kind of helpful links that we always like to share before these calls. The first is a contact information form. So that's just a form to our distribution list. And if you are new to CSTP and you would like to get our call reminders, our newsletters, that is the link to fill out so that you'll be added to our list. If you would like to present at one of these future conference calls or have something put in our newsletter, either something you write up or something that you uh, are interviewed for. I do the interviews. It takes 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'll just type something up. If you have something you'd like to share, you can fill out that next form. And then our next networking call, which is different from our conference calls, and I know it always throws everybody for a loop. The networking calls, there's no presentation. It's just a chance to connect with one another. And I'm always excited to hear from everybody and see what's going on. And it can be really helpful if you have like a challenge in your office or you're trying to work on something. You can click on that networking call link and then get those put on your calendar. We also have a couple of links to our newsletter archive, our conference call archive. So again, if you're new or if you remembered something that you're like, wait a minute, I remember that was in the newsletter or that was a conference call presentation, but I want to find, some small detail. You can use either of those links and see all of our past newsletters and conference calls. And so excited to be able to have you both on the call again today and to hear kind of what's new with APHSA. They have presented for us before, and in our last newsletter, one of their colleagues had a great article written up. So there's just a wealth of knowledge and information, and I always am excited to have you both on our calls or in our newsletters. So with that, I will hand it over to Alex and Francesca.
Thank you so much, Jenny. Of course, we appreciate the partnership with you and the Child Support Training Partnership. This is some, this partnership is dear to my heart with me being a former child support probation officer, then working at the state office in New Jersey, and then also leading the training institute for all child support professionals in New Jersey, and then moving over to APHSA to do some national work, not only within child support, but within other sectors of the human services profession. So as Jenny mentioned, my name is Alex Figueroa. I'm the Assistant Director of Learning and Development with the American Public Human Services Association, also known as APHSA, and I'm here with my amazing colleague, Francesca Robinson, who will be also doing the demonstration of the learning management system. So first, I want to welcome you to Thrive, which is our learning management system designed specifically to support and elevate human services professionals. You'll see that inside Thrive, you'll find a dynamic collection of engaging e-learning courses that build real-world skills that you can use immediately within your work. And you'll also have access to growing library of informative resources, which includes tools, guides, frameworks, and other materials created to help you stay effective, innovative, and informed. But what truly sets Thrive apart is number one, it is free. That is correct. It is free to access. So all you need to do is just make sure that you have created a learner profile to access the learning management system. And then we also have what's called our online learning communities, which are spaces that are built for connection, whether you're collaborating with other peers, either sharing ideas, or even finding inspiration from others across the sector. Thrive empowers you to keep the work moving forward, growing your expertise, and building meaningful professional networks all in one platform. Uh, Our learning management system was launched in March of 2023. We have over 2,000 learners currently that are accessing our learning management system for whatever reason, whether it's, for professional growth and completing e-learning courses, um, accessing our resources, or being part of an online learning community. And at the end, we'll talk to you kind of like what's next on our radar with our learning management system, because we're continuously looking on ways to enhance and to provide additional information to all of you. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and I'll turn it over to my colleague Francesca.
Thank you, Alex. Hi everyone. My name is Francesca Robinson. As Alex mentioned, I'm an instructional designer with APHSA and one of the lead administrators for the Thrive Learning Management System. So, definitely very excited to share with you my baby, essentially. um, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to walk through Thrive. Most importantly, how to create a profile. Like Alex said, it's free. It takes all of 5 seconds. Some of you might already have credentials that you don't even know about. So I'll walk through that process. And then I'll really just be going through those three main content areas that Alex mentioned. So like where to find the e-learning courses, how to access the resource library, talk a little bit more about those online learning communities, and see if that might be a space that you guys are interested in pursuing. So I will share my screen. Let me know if you can see it. Awesome. So to access Thrive, you're first going to go to the Thrive platform, which is thrive.matrixlms.com, and I'm going to put that in the chat right now. So once you're there, this is just our generic landing page. It has a little bit of information of what you'll find once you enter Thrive. And then at the bottom, if you're having any issues accessing or logging into the platform, you can reach out to this help desk email. Alex and I both monitor it, so that way it's fully covered even if one of us is out, so you should get a quick response. To log in, you'll hit the login button on the top right of the screen, and then you'll hit this SSO button. And what that does is it brings you to the APHSA website. So if you've ever attended any of our webinars, conferences, events, anything like that, you probably already have credentials. And if you forget what those might be, you can find your account by email address if you click this button right here. And then you'll type in your email and it'll let you know if you have an account, and you'll reset your password. Or if you're brand new, you'll use this form on the right-hand side of the screen. Super short, just some basic demographic information that we gather, and then it'll create your profile for you and log you right into Thrive. So a super simple login process. Once you have those credentials, you'll be able to join Thrive. Once you're logged into the platform, the landing page within Thrive is a learner dashboard. So everybody has their own learner dashboard. The top half of the dashboard is the same across the board, so everybody sees the same thing, which is this rotating carousel. So it rotates through a few slides that just talk about like upcoming events, new releases. For example, I'm going to pause it real quick. We do have a mobile app for Thrive that we did release. So if you're better at learning on your phone or you want to be able to kind of access that off the computer, you can download the app. We have a National Leadership Academy that's launched. So if you want to sign up for that, the information is all there. We like to highlight some testimonials from some of our courses just so you get a little bit of a feel for like, hey, this is what somebody thought of their course. That sounds like a great testimonial. Maybe I should take that course. And then lastly, just that help desk email again, just so it's easy and ready for you to access if you have any questions or if you have any feedback, because we are always open to improving this platform. It's definitely not done growing. So we are always looking for new feedback, opinions, content, things like that. And then the bottom half of the learner dashboard is what's unique to everybody. So it'll look different for every learner. It really just gives you a high-level overview of your experience on Thrive. So the courses section goes over all of the courses you yourself are enrolled in, that you've completed. And then down here, it gives a high-level overview of the course catalog and what different categories of courses we offer, as well as if you're in any online learning communities, those will show up here, and then like snippets of the news feed from those groups will show up here. And then the last section is just any awards you've received, which for Thrive right now is just e-learning completion certificates. So you'll be able to just see, again, what courses and have proof of those completions. So moving on to how to navigate the platform, you'll notice a navigation bar on the left-hand side here. This is always there, right there on the left for you, and this is the main way to navigate the platform. So I'll start with the resource library. I'll kind of work bottom up. The resource library, like Alex mentioned, has toolkits, previous conference content, webinar recordings, infographics, has a lot of great information, and it's broken up into two sections. So each section is actually 100% the same, except it's just a different view of the same content. So there's a business section and a catalog section. And the business section, I always compare it to SharePoint because everything is organized in folders. So you'll be able to kind of browse at your convenience and see like the different categories of content we offer. And then if you clicked into the folder, so this is one of our most recent additions, so I'll click into this one, but it's Tools for Thriving, Improving Outcomes for Young Adults. This is all about working with people with lived experience. So you can click in that folder. You'll see some subfolders with some more like detailed breakdown of like different areas of work that you can work with them in. So they're all kind of organized similarly. So there's a main high level category, and then within it, you can get into the little nitty-gritty of each of those categories. The catalog section, again, same exact resources, except here it's one giant alphabetized list. So I always recommend that the catalog section is great for when you know what you're looking for. So there's a search bar, which makes it really great to be able to identify what you're looking for. So let's say you're interested in SNAP. You could type in SNAP, hit enter, and then all of our resources, either that have SNAP in the title or on the back end, we have a taxonomy piece that we could tag as SNAP if it's related to SNAP. They'll all show up. So again, this is great when you know exactly what you're looking for. And then the business, I would say, is better for browsing because then it gives you kind of that bigger picture with all of the different categories. Anything you want to add here, Alex, about our resource library?
Yeah, I think one of the things I want us to share is the importance of um, adding resources from the child support sector. So, as you know, Francesca shared, there's a lot of information regarding various sectors, but I'm a little biased when it comes to child support because I always feel um, a lot of times they're not in the forefront when it comes to, training, development, resources, sharing of resources. I remember always wondering what are other states are doing around, specific areas. So I want to put the charge out there to all of you and, Jenny, let me know if there's anything that I can also maybe put in the next newsletter about the importance of continuing to strengthen our resource library. And so we'd like your help. So if you have any child support related tools, guides, or templates, we're gonna, give a charge out to all of you that if you use anything at work that you are able to share or you think others in the sector would benefit from, please consider sharing them with us here at APHSA. Your contributions will help expand us access practical, real-world resources that support our collective work and the families that we serve. So if you are willing to share, just let us know. Feel free to reach out to us. We'll definitely share our information. And, just as a collective group between APHSA and the Child Support Training Partnership, together we can build a richer, more youthful library for everyone within the child support sector. So hopefully you'll take me up on that charge.
Thank you, Alex. The next section that I'll go over is our course catalog. So if you look on the left, you can click the catalog button. And similarly to the business section, we've organized our courses based off of categories. So we have a few just general Thrive demonstrations. So basically everything I'm saying in this call, we have a little micro learning on so that way you can kind of walk it through in your own pace. We have a great category called Building Organizational Excellence that has a lot of great like soft skills that leadership or even just a regular line staff employee would be able to benefit from. Empathy essentials, fostering organizational culture in a hybrid work environment, a lot of really relevant topics, staff burnout. I know we've all been there, so a lot of really great content here for kind of well-being for staff. We've got a few on coaching, so this is really great. We have a few on getting to know APHSA as an organization. Kind of our biggest hitter category recently has been the human services programs and policies. So we have a lot of high level like intro courses for SNAP ENT, understanding benefit cliffs, a TANF 101. We're working on a Medicaid 101, a child welfare 101. So this has been a great resource for human services professionals to kind of get their feet wet in other programs that they aren't necessarily working in day to day. But it's good to kind of have that knowledge. We also have categories on leadership development, professional development, and then also tools, frameworks, and models within human services. This is also a really great category because a lot of these frameworks are not organization specific, right? So they can be applied to various agencies and organizations. So definitely worth checking out. As Alex mentioned, all of our courses are free. Most of them, almost all of them, are 20 minutes or less. So they're kind of easy to fit into your busy days. I'll just walk through the enrollment process just so you can see what that looks like. So if you're interested in, let's say, overview of motivational interviewing, you'll see a course description here. Read that. Hey, that sounds great. You just click on it and you just hit this green enroll button. You'll be enrolled into the course. You press start and you're good to go. All of our courses have two sections. So the e-learning content itself, and then we're all about growth and adding to our platform. So the second section is a satisfaction survey, super short, only a couple of questions. But we want to know, like, how did you like the course? Is there anything we can improve? We review this kind of quarterly and make updates as feedback comes in. And then we also ask the important question of what else do you want to learn, right? So just like our resource library, we're looking to expand our course offerings just the same. So if there's any content or area of interest that you want us to develop courses on, definitely let us know, because we are always open to expanding our offerings, and we want to know like what's relevant for the people actually doing the work out there. Anything here, Alex, that you wanted to add?
No, I think you covered it all.
And the last section is our online learning community. So if you go to the groups tab, you'll see when I hover over it, these are all the groups that I'm a part of. I'm the administrator for all of them, so it's a long list. But you'll go to the catalog button down here. All of these groups that you'll see are currently closed groups. So they're for a specific group of people that are meeting on this platform. And really just they're being used to continue the conversation outside of Zoom or Teams meetings like this, right? So you're able to, and I see that Jenny just put the access code for that group on there. So that's amazing. Because yes, you have your own group on here. And it's right here. So when you click on that group, you'll actually, to join the group, you'll hover over here and hit join, and then you'll put that access code that Jenny put in the chat, and then you'll be able to access the group. And within each group, you could have resource libraries, forum discussions. So it's really a great way to, again, continue that conversation outside of these meetings, but also be able to gather feedback, pick each other's brains. Things get lost in Outlook, I feel like, all the time. So it's definitely a great way for things to kind of be memorialized and just be in an organized place that it won't be overlooked or missed in a Teams thread or in your Outlook. So it's really, really awesome. And that you guys have a group. So do you want
Yeah,
me to
I
go
love
through the
it.
group?
Yeah, if you could, and I'll give a
Yeah.
little context around Jenny and my conversation. Um, when we first did a kind of a demo for Jenny, we talked about maybe opportunities for this group to continue conversations outside of your, monthly gathering. And so we walked through Jenny, through the online learning community and its functionalities, she felt that this would be beneficial for this group to not only continue conversations either through forum or chat, but also an opportunity to upload resources. So if someone didn't attend a meeting or agenda or all of those documents that, Jenny just shared within the chat feature, a lot of that information could be stored within this kind of a one-stop shop area for anyone that is interested in participating and engaging with the Child Support Training Partnership.
Exactly. So for this group, you guys have your own resource library. There's a few resources in here already. There's a calendar, so any upcoming events could be added to here, things that you might be interested in. A news feed as well. So you'll see that on your main dashboard. If anything, hey, like an event's coming up or I added new resources, like you could be notified that way. And then you also have your own group dashboard. So that'll have a carousel with any information that is relevant or wants to be shared. Uh, and you'll kind of see your involvement. Definitely join the group. and check it out.
Love it. So I do want to just kind of open it up before I go into kind of two key initiatives that we're working on that you know some way impact child support sector. But I do want to open it up to see if there's any questions, thoughts, concerns from all of you in either accessing, engaging. Would this be something that might be beneficial for you, colleagues, um, for you or your colleagues to access? Okay. If for some reason there's some feedback that you'd like to share, please put it in the chat or feel free to reach out to Francesca or myself, or you can even go through Jenny, if that's okay. And I do want to just share kind of what's kind of on the radar. So next we'll be focusing on two key initiatives. First, we're preparing to submit eligible e-learning courses to the Association of Social Work Boards, ASWB. So if you are a social worker with a license, or another profession within the social work field, um, feel free to check us out because we're looking to get some continuing education credits for our approved e-learning courses. And this, as you know, this is an important step as we continue to expand the professional value of our offerings at APHSA, as well as support ongoing development across the sector. At the same time, we're also beginning the development of our new Child Support 101 e-learning course. So this foundational training will provide a clear, accessible overview of core concepts, processes, and best practices within child support, designed to support both new professionals and anyone looking to strengthen their understanding of the system. So these efforts will continue to enhance the impact of our learning ecosystem and ensure we're delivering high quality, meaningful training for human services professionals, especially the child support community. One other piece I do want to share, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the National Staff Development and Training Association, also known as NSDTA. And that's really the workforce and training hub for the human services professionals. So I'm going to go ahead and just share the website to APHSA in the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if that's okay. And can you guys see the American Public Human Services? Okay. So what you would want to do is you would want to go under events and then click under NSDTA. So we actually have a national conference that we do every year. And this year it's going to be in Salt Lake City, Utah. And so the conference will be October 4th through the 7th. You'll be surprised. There's many child support professionals from all over the country that actually come to this conference to talk about training, facilitation, curriculum development, evaluation and research, CQI, human services leadership. What does that look like? Organizational development or effectiveness. So here is another opportunity to connect with other human services professionals, both in child support or any other human services sector. So you have aging, child welfare, disability, housing. I'm trying to think what else. Economic support. So when we think about SNAP and TANF, especially as you know right now with everything that's happening with HR1, and we also have academic universities that also attend because, as you know, sometimes these universities partner with both local and state agencies to provide support. I think I've had conversations with Jenny to hopefully try to get Jenny to come to one of these conferences so she can also see how can she can leverage from a lot of this to kind of support her work with the child support community and this training partnership. So if you are interested, again, feel free to reach out to us. You can go through Jenny. You can access this information. Again, it is through events, NSDTA, and there's information regarding registration, hotel and travel, sponsorship, and a little bit of information regarding who we are and where we serve. So when we look at attendees, You have state public agencies that are about 70, they're about 35%. You have public agencies on local. You have academia and research organizations. You have nonprofit organizations or CBOs. You have private sector. You have a lot of associations that attend. And then you also have, from the federal standpoint as well, we also have federal staff that actually come out to kind of hear what's the latest and greatest that's happening. I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen. So that's all that we have. Again, any questions for us?
Well, as everyone is kind of thinking, and just in case anyone
Hmm.
is a little shy and doesn't want to be first, I'll
No
just
problem.
kind of echo some of what Francesca and Alex presented on and just say that I know there's a few of you on the call today that are part of our learning community, which is excellent. It's been kind of a slow start for us, which a lot of things with CSTP is just because it is something extra that you all do. To be, to get those resources, and just because of the dedication to your work. I know it's not anyone's, full-time main job to be part of this group, but I do think, as you all were going through the trainings, there's a lot of overlap with child support, even though it might not be, labeled as child support. I'm thinking back to Francesca when you were showing us like the motivational interviewing, the SNAP, TANF, things like that. I know many of you are probably experts in all of those types of skills, but I know that for myself as someone that works in training, it's always good. I always need to see kind of how other people present information. It's always eye-opening as a professional just to see, this is how I might present something, but how does somebody else present it? And then be able to kind of see it like with a new set of eyes. Oh, they explained this in a different way, but it made a lot of sense. And maybe different learners need things explained in different ways. And I know that within my organization, within a lot of your organizations, there's always sort of a part of our evaluation on that professional development category. I know some people struggle hitting all of those, and I think that this is a great way because it is a free resource for everybody, and hopefully you all are able to access it through your employer and through your organization, and access all of those resources. And so I want to say how much I appreciate as someone that works in training and as somebody that is not an expert in all of the different categories within child support, because I am one of those, as Alex mentioned, kind of contractor roles through university. It's always really helpful to have those resources that give some explainers. It's great to see how something can be explained, especially I know with our group, uh, people have a lot of questions on putting things online. How do you get those asynchronous courses? People are kind of dipping their toes into that. And so this is a great way to have a resource to share with people, or to even just see how does it look? How does the information get out, using that? And so I just want to say as a user and as somebody that sees, this platform, how beneficial it really can be. And so I hope, same thing with the learning community. I hope that you take advantage, that you can make an account, take a look at all the resources, and join our learning community. And I always have that access code ready to go, so that if on all these calls, if someone does create an account, then they have that access code so you can join right away. Because I think that I get a lot of questions from people about how can I reach other members? How can I email other members? And unfortunately, I'm not able to give out like our distribution list to anybody, but this is sort of a meet in the middle way. And as Alex mentioned, uh, after their first demonstration of this, I reached out and was like, how can we get in on this? Because it's such a useful tool to where you can just post something, ask a question, or share something, and then in real time sort of have that back and forth with people. And so I know, like I said, I know that I see some familiar names on here that I know are a part of our learning community. So some of you are already set up with it. But I hope if you're not and you're interested, that you will create an account, check out all of the resources, and join our community too, because I do think this is a really amazing resource for people. And yeah, I just can't, speak highly enough about all of the work that you all have put into it, because it really looks so great and is easy to navigate and use.
Oh, I appreciate that, Jenny. I will also give kudos to Francesca. So Francesca has also been a presenter at the National Child Support Training Association conference, with her background being an instructional designer and developing a lot of these e-learning courses. She's done one regarding AI and how do you kind of infuse AI within our learning process. We will be building out some courses that actually will include AI features in our e-learning courses. We're still kind of in the testing phase of figuring that out. And Francesca also did one regarding dashboards and it really how do you take a lot of the data that you gather and how do you kind of have that visual representation to really kind of share that story. And so those are some of a lot of the hot topics that are happening within the larger platform at the conference. And then we are, still trying to figure out, what are some additional hot topics that we can continue to develop, both in the child support realm as well as human services altogether. So, we're continuing to work and to put a lot of good content out there. But I always say, all of you that work in child support, you guys are the experts. You guys know what you guys need as, staff members, but all you guys are working directly with children, families, and communities. So it is going to be important for us to continue to leverage a lot of the expertise that are happening within the sector. Okay, so I take it as you guys are still processing, which is a-okay with us. I will just say if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to connect. We hope to see all of you as part of that online learning community, as Jenny mentioned, and any type of support that we can give. Just reach out to us and we'll be happy to connect.
Yeah, any final questions or anything that you'd like to ask Francesca and Alex before they're done with their presentation today and hop off? Feel free to type it in the chat or come off mute. I can't thank you both enough for being willing to share. And I know that, it was a couple of years ago now that you shared this resource the first time. And it's just amazing to see how you've really kept up with kind of current trends and all of the updates that you've made to the site now a couple years later. And it's really, I think, like I said before, it's just such a great resource for everybody. But you can also always reach out to me if you need to connect with Alex and Francesca. If you, like I said, I'm always guilty of, I think of something a week later in the middle of the night. I wish I would have asked that question, or I come back to something. And so if you lose their contact information or get your wires crossed, you can always reach out to me, and I'm always happy to connect you with them and make sure that you get any questions answered or any assistance that you might need. But I know that help desk email is on, so if you're able to get to an account created and you do have some troubleshooting issues with the site, that contact is right there for you too. But
Thanks so
yeah,
much, Jenny.
any other questions or comments for uh, Francesca and Alex? Feel free to speak now or forever hold your peace.
Again, another charge. Feel free to share that link to for the LMS at thrive.matrixlms.com, as well as the access code again to be part of that engaging learning community. All right. Well, Jenny, thank you so much again. Thank you to the Child Support Training Partnership for having us. You guys are amazing partners, and we look forward to continuing to find innovative ways to partner together and support each other. So, again, thanks so much, Jenny. We appreciate you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Take care.